Okay, so we need a 24 volt, 30 amp current potential, or we need a power source for our power supply that's going to take 24 volts and produce 12 volts. We were driving this truck the other day, and Austin was playing with the bolt or something and crossed some of the terminals, and it sparked, which tells me that we already have one right here, so I don't have to run a new one. So this goes down to the battery. We got 4 wires in here, and then this shield. So we're about to figure out, and this is right here in the truck. All three of the trucks that we got on the road right now have something like this. One still has a connector on the end. So we're going to figure out which one of these wires are connected to the ground, or to the truck frame, and which ones are 24 volts. And I don't know why there are 4, because there's no center tap on this truck. So unless there's another 12 volt supply that I don't know about, I don't know why there's 4. But we're about to figure out what they all are. So stand by. Okay, so before I started doing this, I disconnected this. All our trucks have a phantom battery drain. It's slow, so if you leave them sitting for a couple days, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it's like 4 days. It depends on the truck. A week, like 1 or 2 days is fine, but if you let them sit long enough, they won't start because the battery's been drained by some kind of relay deep in there that's stuck on because it's 20 years old. And also, so I put this switch in all of them. It makes it really handy when we're doing electrical stuff. So I just disconnected, so I'm messing with that. I'm not going to short anything out or get a shot. So now we got these wires stripped. For some reason, these red wires pulled through really quick, or that far, and the black ones didn't. And it seems pretty obvious that this is going to be 24 volts, and this is also going to be 24 volts. We're about to measure it with that closed. All right, so now we have circuit. Let's get the meter out. Okay, so I just checked them, and that's right. Let's see if I can do it. See if I can do this one-handed. So there's one set, so it's 25.7, and then the other set is 25.8. So that's, I don't know if you really see, that's just, red, black to black. That's what it was. So we have 2 different, I don't know why there are 2 small wires, 4 small wires instead of 2 bigger wires, but probably has to do with the connector that was connected up. And I don't think I'm going to need another 24 volt source here, because I think everything else I'm going to run in here is going to be 12 volts, so it'll be coming out of the power supply, but I can only draw 30 amps. So I'm going to think about this in the next few minutes while I'm hooking up the power supply to test it, and I'm going to do that on the same video. Okay, so this is the 12 volt power supply, and the video that has the drawing on the chalkboard, this is almost the same exact thing. These 3 terminals here are positive 12 volts compared to these 3 terminals right here. The difference is, this is the actual DC to DC converter. This is a relay that switches off the ignition switch over there, or will, from this cord right here that we're going to connect. But on the box that this converter came in, it didn't show the negative terminal for the 24 volt and the negative terminal for the 12 volt connected. So this 12 volt source here is going to float. It's not grounded. The negative terminal is not connected to the chassis, just because that's the way the diagram on the box says. So that's the difference. And we're using these waterproof connectors. And then, so this whole thing is going to be inside of, in this case, we're going to use a toolbox. Oh, excuse me. Hope you didn't hear that. Too many beans. But anyway, so we're going to connect this up right here. All right, so this is what's going to key off, and these are the 2 so we really only need 1 diode, because one of these is going to go to the accessory terminal on the switch, and one's going to go to the ignition or the on position switch. Right, so what we don't want to do is, when we turn the truck to accessory, we don't want that to go here, meet at this point, and then back up and turn the truck on, right? So that's why we had 1 diode in the diagram, but then I didn't want to have to worry about which one of these is connected which, so I just put 2 diodes in there. So either way, it won't affect the other one. Obviously, if the truck's on, the accessories can be on. So I'm going to plug this in, and for now, we're just going to hang this off the positive terminal and then measure this, make sure it's 12 volts. And then after that, we're going to take these wire nuts off, and then put this through the chassis and use these clamps so that they stay on there, and then put up the rest of the stuff. So right now we're just testing this power supply. The next video will have, hopefully, the whole stereo working, or at least we'll show you how it's going together. We're going to use these connectors for the speakers too. All right, we got it. You see here, plus and minus 12 volts there. You see 12.3 volts there. So we got a 30 amp fuse feeding this bus, right? It's a bus because of these jumpers. I'm gonna turn the battery back off now so I don't spark anything. And we're gonna solder the connections on that feed this too, and then heat shrink them. So 30 amp fuse here, and I think that'll be fine. If we end up running an accessory, we got 3 accessories. So one is gonna be the infotainment center. One's going to be the always-on backup camera, which is be like a reverse view, or rear view mirror, and then one open. If one of these needs to be fused at a much lower rate, then we'll put a fuse on this side of it to protect that device. So that's it. This is the 12-volt power supply for the Humvees, my daily driver. And I'm looking for work. As soon as I'm employed, I drive the Mazda a lot right now because it's, you know, like a quarter of the cost of gas, basically. Or fuel, but it'll be my daily driver again, and we're gonna ride in style with infotainment right there. So that'll be the next video. Thanks for watching. This is Daddy from Austin and Daddy Doodle Doo.